Hello, everyone. I am so excited to be with you today, and I want to thank you so much for taking a few moments out of your day to spend with me. Today is going to be a combo question, and the questions that I have, I would say the general theme is around body language. So, the first part of the question I received from Holly, her question was, how can you read people better? So that's one part of the question. The other part I received, which is great by the way, the other part I received from Dr. Alice. Dr. Alice's question asked specifically about how to display confidence more so in a physical gestures, body language type of way. Since both of these are around the same topic, I'm going to share with you a couple of tips that have helped me along the way as it relates to both of these. Now, this is going to be a bit of a longer video than I normally do. So you might want to get a water, get some coffee, some tea, some snacks, some candy, whatever it is that you need to get just to take a moment, just relax with me today. So if you are new to me, my name is Dr. Jacinta Lamantai. I am the CEO of Excite Excellence Incorporated. And when you think about reading people better, there's two ways you can do this. The first way is what you see by observing, and the second way is what you hear, if you have the ability to hear or see. One of the things that I learned throughout my career in different settings, and I guess I should preface this by saying that the things I'm going to share with you, a lot of times we're not really taught in educational settings or even just in general. And so I want to be able to help you with that. But a lot of times what I see as a sign of disinterest in what you might be saying or your presentation or your conversation is that someone may start looking on their phone. So that means whatever you're saying is not resonating with them, or they simply just don't care. So you'll see people just look down, start on their phone and doing, whatever else it is. So if you see that, then what I would recommend for you to do is see it. Don't get mad. People do it all the time. Maybe they had an emergency. I don't know. See how long it progresses. If someone just took a quick look at their phone, they may just need to check something out. But if you see this person just on their phone, just scrolling, and just not listening to you, you might want to think about a time that you worked with them. And you could potentially say the following: Mrs. Jones, I really enjoyed working with you on this particular project. Did you have any insights that you wanted to share in terms of what you learned by working with me, or that could apply to whatever the conversation is you're having right now? And I guarantee you, Mrs. Jones is going to look up, and she's going to look at you and answer the question. So definitely keep that in mind. That is a sign that someone's not interested. And that's a good way to read people, is you got to see what they're doing, because I'm telling you, ladies, what somebody's body language says will tell you what they are not wanting to say. So definitely take a moment and observe them. Another thing you may see in terms of reading people, if they're not interested in what you have to say or what's going on, they may do the most famous thing of all time, which is talking. Oh, I know. How frustrating is that? So what they will do is that they may start talking to someone else, or you know how that is. That really is a way you can read somebody and know that they're not interested in what you have to say. Might want to use the same technique and ask, is there maybe something that they had a question about, or they maybe need clarification on. But those are some things you can do to read people. If someone is not making direct eye contact with you, they may just either not feel comfortable with you, or they don't want to say what they really want to say. A lot of times I've noticed that people will start to look away or look down if they want to have a bit of a difficult conversation, but they might be a little more scared to do so. That's a good way to read someone. And another thing to keep in mind is how they are responding to you. So a lot of times, I can tell you right now, if there's somebody I've communicated with that I'm intimidating, the first thing they do is they get a pen. You know, a lot of times people get a pen, and if you're trying to read somebody and see kind of what they're thinking, just watch them. Just watch what they're doing. That guy might get a pen. They may play with it. They may fidget with it. Something. You know, they may do something. But I think the most important thing is really to just observe and see if there is a point in time where you see that they're not interested in what you have to say. And if they're not, then you might want to readjust your message and make it more interesting. I hope that's helpful. Like, as I mentioned, there's a lot more depth to it. So if you want me to go more into details about reading people, leave it in the comments so we can talk about it. Okay, to go to Dr. Alice's question about how to show confidence as it relates to your body language. First, from a coaching standpoint, I'm going to ask you, what does confidence mean to you? What does confidence mean to you? Start there first, because all of those things that mean confidence to you are ways that we can work together to make confidence feel more realistic and attainable for you. This is something that I go really deep in the Confidence Game Plan, which is my coaching program. If you haven't applied for it, sign up for it. But this is something that is very, very important as it relates to showing your confidence. But I'm going to give you some just tips to think about, some just things just to get you started, just appetizer, right? So the first thing you might want to do is, if you want to show confidence externally, is to sit up straight. Sit up straight. When you sit up straight, not only do you look taller, sometimes you need to have that look of being tall, and also it helps you to feel more in control. Now, you don't want to sit like a robot, you know, just do your thing. No. It's just to sit up straight and be mindful of how you're sitting. That's the first thing. The next thing I'd recommend for you to do is to make sure, and I guess I did this in reverse order, sorry about that, but dress well. Make sure you're dressed appropriately. You feel good about what you have on. You feel good. Your makeup looks good. Your hair looks good. You smell nice. Whatever it is that you need to do to make yourself feel well, I'd recommend to try to do that. Then make sure when you're in the presence of other people, make sure you sit up straight. Sit up straight. You might need to tighten your ab muscles a little bit, kind of get a workout that helps you to even sit up even straighter. Those are signs of confidence externally to other people, because the way you're sitting. Another tip that I would give to you for confidence is being able to be mindful of your body language. When someone's talking to you, you want to look at them directly. And you don't necessarily have to always and nod your head away, because something I talk about in the book I'm publishing that's specifically on executive presence is there's times when you need to smile and there's times when you just simply don't need to smile. And having that constant nod of agreement, unless you truly agree, can impact your confidence, because it can almost come across as like you're just going to say yes to whatever I say, and you don't want to necessarily do that. You want to be in a place where you're confident, but you're able to control your emotions in terms of what you're saying to other people. So make sure you're standing up straight and that you are putting yourself in a good place mentally to be strong in terms of your body language and how you're dressing, and really be mindful of what you're doing as you're talking. Another thing I'd recommend is to watch your hands. Watch your hands, ladies, watch your hands, because a lot of times I see people that you can kind of tell and pick it up like quick if they're confident or not. If you have somebody that is like looking down, or they may have their hands and they might do the little, fidget thing. I don't know what they do. Sometimes people fidget, sometimes people mess with their hair, or they scratch their head, or, they move something odd. But a lot of times that shows that you may not be as confident as you would like to be. So if you're not sure where to put your hands, easy tip would be, and I know I'm sitting down, ladies, I'll do a video standing up for you at some point here very soon. But you might want to just have your hands clasped if you're sitting at a desk on top of each other, just like this. That's a great way for you to just appear as if you're in control, because you're looking, you're listening, and your hands are not distracting you. You don't want to get a pen like I talked about a minute ago and start talking with your pen. You know how many times these little tops on these pens have been popped off? I guarantee you've done it before. I've I've done it before many years ago. I don't do it anymore. But the poor pens, I feel bad for them. The pens, ladies, the pens are the ones that know if you're confident or not, especially if they're in your presence when you're talking, because they will get damaged, pop, top off, or all that. So anyways, you want to make sure if you have a pen nearby, you don't need it unless you're taking notes. So if you got a pen, put your pen off to the side. Don't go just destroying and hurting this pen's feelings and just popping it off like that. A lot of times people do that when they are nervous and they're not as confident as they need to be. And it shows to those individuals who are very keen on observation in terms of confidence. So just make sure your hands are in a good position and that they're not distracting. So we've covered a lot so far, a lot of things in terms of body language. You want to make sure that you're making eye contact with everyone in the room, or if you're talking on Zoom or whatever, just make sure you're looking around. Even on Zoom, you may not, look around too much because it'll look kind of weird. But particularly if you are working and speaking to someone directly, look at the camera. Look directly at the camera. It's going to feel kind of awkward depending on where your camera is located, but look at the camera because that shows that you're looking right at that person. If you're in a meeting setting when you are looking at other individuals, then try to turn your head this way, turn your head straight, turn your head to the right. So we're going right, straight, left. Now don't do this all in one setting now. No, don't do that. But at strategic times when you're trying to make a point, and you want to make sure you're engaging with the audience or whoever it is you're speaking with. So turn. Even if you're looking at the wall, it will still appear as if you were looking at them. So that's a good trick to show confidence externally too. My last tip as an overview now, as I mentioned, we go a lot more into the confidence game plan, but my last tip would be to become a better public speaker. Oftentimes people think that public speaking is only for politicians, people running for an office, or doing a presentation, or speaking at a conference, or talking to a group of people. I'm telling you this right now, ladies, public speaking by far is the most important skill that you need to have if you are trying to become more confident. Hands down, I mean, we can start the video right now with that. But having some public speaking skills is important. Public speaking is used in all aspects of conversations you're having. So whether you're talking one-on-one, if you're talking on the phone, if you are communicating with someone via text message, the way you communicate and the way you speak is critically important. So make sure you are getting a couple of these things together. As I mentioned, this is a good overview combo question. I appreciate y'all for hanging until the end of the question because it was a lot to cover. And I really appreciate Holly and Dr. Alice for coming up with just a fantastic topic as it relates to body language. Now, I'd like to know from you, what are some things that you have done body language wise that you may have taken away from your message or may not have came across as confident as you like to? Put them in the comments below because I'd like to take a look and see how I can help you on your journey. Now, if you are at a point where you are really ready to master your body language, read people better, and just be more in tune with yourself and take your skills a level up, then contact me. Schedule a chat, schedule a call so we can discuss where you are right now and come up with an action plan to help you get to where you want to be. Now, if this information was helpful to you, I would appreciate it if you like this video because when you like this video, it gets the information out to more women who really wish they could know this information. So feel free to like the video and subscribe so that you don't miss out on any other content. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.